Section 1. London's finest meet Nicholas Angel. Nicholas Angel, top cop, a name that resonated through the corridors of the Metropolitan Police Service. His walls were adorned with awards and commendations, each one a testament to his unparalleled dedication and skill. He was the best London had. He could disarm a suspect in seconds. His reflexes were lightning fast, honed through years of rigorous training and real-world experience. Every move he made was precise, calculated, and effective. He could chase down criminals with ease. His arrest record impeccable. No one could outrun him, and no one could outsmart him. His pursuit skills were legendary, often leaving both his colleagues and the criminals in awe. His colleagues, jealous. Angel was a machine dedicated to upholding the law. His relentless pursuit of justice set a standard that few could match. While some admired him, others envied his success, creating a complex web of professional jealousy and respect. But Angel's dedication came at a cost. His personal life, non-existent. The long hours, the constant danger, and the unyielding pressure left little room for anything else. Relationships faltered, friendships faded, and the man behind the badge became increasingly isolated, his commitment to his job unwavering. This made his superiors nervous. They saw a man who was burning the candle at both ends, a man who was so consumed by his duty that he was on the brink of self-destruction. They worried about the toll it was taking on him, both physically and mentally. They decided a change was needed, a change of scenery, a demotion disguised as a transfer. It was a decision made out of concern, but also out of a desire to see if Angel could adapt to a different pace of life. They hoped that a quieter environment might help him find some balance. Angel was sent to Sandford, a quaint village in the countryside, a place where nothing ever happened, or so they thought. The village was picturesque, with its rolling hills, charming cottages, and a sense of tranquility that seemed worlds away from the chaos of London. But beneath the surface, there were secrets waiting to be uncovered and challenges that would test even the most seasoned officer. Angel's journey was far from over. It was just beginning in a place where appearances could be deceiving, and where his skills would be put to the ultimate test. Section 2, Sandford's slow pace, a culture shock. Sandford was different. The pace was slower. The people were friendly, too friendly. It was a place where time seemed to stand still, where the hustle and bustle of city life felt like a distant memory. The village was picturesque, with its cobblestone streets, charming cottages, and lush green fields. It was the kind of place that looked like it had been plucked straight out of a storybook. But for someone used to the fast-paced life of London, it was a jarring change. The locals greeted each other with warm smiles and friendly waves, and everyone seemed to know everyone else's business. It was a tight-knit community where gossip spread like wildfire and secrets were hard to keep. The biggest crime, a missing swan. This was not London. In the city, Angel had dealt with serious crimes, from robberies to assaults, and everything in between. But here in Sandford, the most pressing issue was the disappearance of a swan named Martin. It was almost laughable, the idea that a missing bird could cause such a stir. But in a place where nothing much ever happened, it was the talk of the town. The villagers were genuinely concerned, and the local police force took the matter very seriously. It was a stark contrast to the high-stakes cases Angel was used to, and he couldn't help but feel out of place. Angel was out of his element. He was a city cop, through and through. The quiet, slow-paced life of Sandford was a far cry from the chaotic, adrenaline-fueled environment he was accustomed to. He felt like a fish out of water, struggling to adapt to the new surroundings. The villagers, with their quaint customs and peculiar habits, only added to his sense of alienation. They were friendly enough, but their overly familiar mannerisms made him uncomfortable. He missed the anonymity of the city, where he could blend into the crowd and go about his business without drawing attention. His new partner, PC Danny Butterman. Danny was the polar opposite of Angel. Where Angel was serious and by the book, Danny was laid back and easygoing. He had grown up in Sandford and knew the village like the back of his hand. He was well liked by the locals, who saw him as one of their own. Despite his bumbling nature, Danny had a good heart and a genuine desire to do his job well. He looked up to Angel, seeing him as a seasoned professional with a wealth of experience. Danny was eager to learn from him, even if his methods were a bit unorthodox. A well-meaning but bumbling officer, Danny had a knack for getting himself into awkward situations. He was clumsy and often made mistakes, but his intentions were always good. He had a childlike enthusiasm for his work, which was both endearing and exasperating. Angel found himself constantly having to correct Danny's errors and guide him through even the simplest tasks. It was a test of his patience, but he couldn't help but admire Danny's unwavering optimism and determination. Despite his shortcomings, Danny had a genuine passion for policing and a deep love for his village. A walking, talking action movie encyclopedia, Danny was obsessed with action films. He could quote lines from his favorite movies at the drop of a hat, and had an encyclopedic knowledge of film trivia. He saw himself as a hero in his own action movie, dreaming of thrilling chases and daring rescues. His enthusiasm for the genre was infectious, and he often tried to draw Angel into his cinematic fantasies. For Danny, every day was an opportunity for adventure, even in the sleepy village of Sandford. He longed for the excitement and drama he saw on the big screen, hoping that one day he might get a taste of it in real life. Danny worshipped the ground Angel walked on. He yearned for excitement. He saw Angel as the embodiment of everything he admired in his favorite action heroes. Angel was tough, skilled, and unflappable. Everything Danny aspired to be. He followed Angel around like a loyal sidekick, eager to learn from him and prove himself. Danny's admiration for Angel was palpable, and he often went out of his way to impress him. He wanted to show Angel that he was more than just a bumbling village cop, that he had the potential to be a real hero, for a taste of the action he saw in his beloved films. Danny's longing for adventure was a constant undercurrent in his life. He dreamed of high-speed chases, shootouts, and daring rescues, the kind of excitement that was sorely lacking in Sandford. The village was peaceful and quiet, a far cry from the action-packed world of his favorite movies. But Danny never gave up hope. He believed that one day something exciting would happen, and he would be ready to rise to the occasion. Until then, he contented himself with his daydreams and his unwavering belief in the possibility of adventure. Angel, however, was not impressed. He found Sandford dull, its inhabitants peculiar. The village's slow pace and quirky residents were a far cry from the fast-paced, high-stakes world he was used to. He missed the thrill of the chase, the adrenaline rush of a high-stakes investigation. Sandford felt like a backwater, a place where nothing ever happened. The village's eccentricities only added to his sense of disillusionment. They were friendly enough, but their small-town mentality and obsession with trivial matters grated on his nerves. He couldn't understand how anyone could be content with such a mundane existence. He missed the adrenaline rush of London. The city had been his home, a place where he felt alive and in his element. The constant buzz of activity, the never-ending stream of cases, the thrill of the chase. It was what he lived for. Sandford, with its sleepy streets and quaint charm, felt like a prison. He longed for the excitement and unpredictability of city life, where every day brought new challenges and opportunities. The quiet, predictable routine of village life was suffocating, and he couldn't shake the feeling that he was wasting his talents in a place that didn't need them. Little did he know, Sandford was about to become a whole lot more exciting. Beneath its tranquil surface, the village harbored secrets and mysteries that would soon come to light. The seemingly idyllic community was not as peaceful as it appeared, and Angel would soon find himself embroiled in a series of events that would challenge everything he thought he knew about Sandford. The quiet village was on the brink of a transformation, and Angel was about to be thrust into the heart of the action. The adventure Danny had always dreamed of was just around the corner, and Sandford was about to become the stage for a drama that would rival any action movie. Section 3. Accidental deaths, too many coincidences. In the quaint village of Sandford, a series of unfortunate events began to unfold, each more perplexing than the last. A series of accidents began to plague Sandford. It started with minor mishaps, but soon escalated to more severe incidents that left the community in shock. A local actor, a journalist, a property developer, all met untimely ends. These individuals, each prominent in their own right, seemed to befall tragic fates that were too coincidental to ignore. The local police force, led by the jovial Inspector Butterman, Danny's father, dismissed them as unfortunate incidents. Butterman, with his cheerful demeanor, assured the townsfolk that there was nothing to worry about. Angel, however, smelled a rat. His years of experience in the city had honed his instincts, and something about these accidents didn't sit right with him. The deaths were too precise, too convenient. Each incident seemed to be meticulously planned, leaving no room for doubt in Angel's mind that foul play was involved. His instincts screamed foul play. He couldn't shake the feeling that there was a sinister force at work, orchestrating these so-called accidents. He began to investigate, much to the annoyance of his colleagues. They were used to the quiet, uneventful life in Sandford, and saw Angel's suspicions as unnecessary paranoia. They saw him as a city boy, unable to understand the ways of the countryside. To them, Angel's methods were overzealous and out of place in their peaceful village. But Angel was undeterred. He was determined to uncover the truth. He knew that beneath the surface of this idyllic village lay a dark secret that needed to be exposed. No matter how many times he was told he was being paranoid, Angel's resolve only grew stronger. He delved deeper into the lives of the victims, uncovering connections that others had overlooked. He spent countless hours poring over files and evidence, piecing together the puzzle that was Sandford's string of accidents. Each new discovery only fueled his determination. Angel interviewed townsfolk, asking questions that no one else dared to ask. He listened to their stories, their fears and their suspicions, slowly building a picture of the truth. He began to notice a pattern. The accidents were not random, they were targeted. Each victim had crossed paths with a certain group of individuals who seemed to hold sway over the village. Confronting Inspector Butterman, Angel laid out his findings. But Butterman, ever the optimist, dismissed Angel's theories as the ramblings of a city cop who couldn't adapt to village life. Feeling isolated but resolute, Angel pressed on. He knew he was onto something, and he couldn't let the naysayers deter him from his mission. His investigation led him to uncover a hidden agenda. There were those in Sandford who would go to great lengths to maintain their control and keep their secrets buried. Angel gathered evidence, meticulously documenting every detail. He knew that exposing the truth would not be easy, but he was prepared for the challenge. Finally, with a mountain of evidence in hand, Angel presented his findings to the authorities. The truth was undeniable, and the web of deceit that had plagued Sandford began to unravel. The village of Sandford was forced to come to terms with the truth. The accidents were no accidents at all, but the result of a calculated and sinister plot. Angel's perseverance paid off. He was recognized for his dedication and bravery, and the village began to heal from the wounds of its dark past. Sandford slowly returned to its peaceful state, but the memory of the events served as a reminder of the importance of vigilance and the courage to seek the truth, no matter the cost. Section 4. Budding bromance, Angel and Danny. Despite their differences, a bond began to form between Angel and Danny. They were an unlikely pair. The by-the-book city cop and the action movie-obsessed village Bobby. Danny, starstruck by Angel's past exploits, bombarded him with questions. He dreamt of car chases, shootouts and explosions. Angel, initially dismissive, found himself warming to Danny's enthusiasm. They started spending time together, watching action movies at Danny's place, patrolling the village, with Danny trying and failing to emulate Angel's cool demeanor. Their friendship, though unconventional, was blossoming. Section 5. The NWA Keepers of the Peace, or something more sinister. Angel's investigation led him to the Neighbourhood Watch Alliance, or NWA, a group of seemingly harmless villagers, led by the charming but steely Simon Skinner, the local supermarket manager. The NWA presented themselves as pillars of the community, dedicated to keeping Sandford idyllic. But something about them rubbed Angel the wrong way. Their smiles were too wide, their methods too extreme. He suspected they were behind the accidents, but he had no proof, just a gut feeling. A feeling that told him something rotten lay beneath Sandford's picturesque facade.